trigger warning. I might actually lose some subscribers for showing this video, but I think it's very important that I talk to you about this. So Candace Owens just dropped a bombshell text chain that has been confirmed now by a lot of credible people about what Charlie Kirk was saying 48 hours before he passed. And also, before I show you that, I want to show you if you guys actually believe what Anna Paulina Luna, Congresswoman, is saying is behind Charlie Kirk's death, that they found that a foreign government was involved. And I'm going to play that video first. And I'm going to ask you guys, do you believe what she's saying? Or do you believe what Candace Owens is saying? Because Candace Owens, she's not even insinuating anything. She's just showing what Charlie Kirk's last messages was and the conversations that he was actually trying to have. Because there's so many people trying to hijack who Charlie Kirk was and what he was fighting in his last days. And sure, I may get people to unfollow me, but I don't really care. I'm just here because of the people that are willing to hear these videos out and willing to actually search for the truth with me. I've been trying to stay away from these conversations. I don't want to get too conspiratorial, but since when do we not look into things? Since when do we say, you know what? Enough is enough. Like, this guy didn't just lose his life in front of everybody and all of a sudden we just stopped questioning. So I'm going to play Anna Paulina video first. She is saying that there is a foreign government. She is insinuating that China is behind this. Do you guys believe her when she says this? Who's more credible here? Take a listen.
There's been a lot of questions as to whether there was foreign government involvement.
In which one?
In the assassination of Charlie Kirk, right?
Okay.
So like, we're going to address these theories right now. Back during the ICE riots, do you remember all of that at the beginning of the year?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people were like, where are all of a sudden these big violent riots coming from? Who's funding these organizations? We found out that there was a foreign funding tied to an individual by the name of Neville Singham, who's a multi-billionaire. And he made his billions by working with the communist Chinese government. And he would take, and he's not a registered agent, a foreign agent, which is a FARA violation. So he's taking these millions, funneling it into organizations like the Party of Socialism and Liberation, who then in turn create these very radicalized movements, but they're not even American in theory or funded by American people. They're actually funded by foreign governments. The irony in all this is that Neville Singham, not just to Mamdani's election, so like Jews from Mamdani, but he actually also has ties to funding the Party of Socialism, the Salt Lake City queer group, which is now being investigated with former knowledge on whether or not they knew Charlie would be assassinated, who had ties to the shooter. So I do think that there's a foreign funding tie, but the question is which government, and I think it's tied to the Chinese.
Interesting.
So she says that there is a foreign government involved here, but it is tied to the Chinese. She also puts out her case as to what she thinks is behind, the guy who she thinks is behind the ties to China. And so I thought that was very interesting, but this has caused the internet to melt down to say, who is she running cover for? Why is she all of a sudden blaming China for this? I want to read this. They're now blaming Chinese to attempt to cover for Israel. Many people are saying that Israel has something to do with this, that all of a sudden you got people panicking in our government coming out and saying that there was a foreign government involved, but it was China. And so she made her case. And maybe you guys believe that. Right now, I'm looking at every option on the table. I feel like this is an important conversation. There are very important people making different cases about this. And now we have a government employee, like we have a congresswoman, sitting congresswoman, saying that there was a foreign government, excuse me, involved here. So now we look at what Candace Owens presents to Americans, right? Now that you heard Anna Paulina Luna, do you guys believe that? Please comment down below. So now we go to Candace Owens. And Candace Owens lays out a timetable because for a very long time, she has been talking about that Charlie Kirk was being pressured to be as pro-Israel as he possibly could. But Charlie Kirk began to lose money when he started to host people like Tucker Carlson, who again started to question in Israel's influence in the United States of America. Started to question why are we about to go to war with Iran, which again was just announced that could be very well happening soon. Netanyahu announced that he believes that Iran once again now has even more ballistic missiles that can again reach the United States of America. So he is still pushing for that war. But a lot of people have said that Candace Owens was lying about the fact that Charlie Kirk was trying to separate himself because the big funders for his Turning Point USA organization were Jewish people who did not like that people were opposing Israel. So here are the text messages. This is the bombshell. Take a listen.
Financial. Charlie was done with Israel bullying him, and I am now going to present you proof of what I am saying. This is an actual group chat, which happened 2 days before Charlie Kirk was assassinated. There were 9 people in total on this chat, including Charlie and Rob McCoy. I'm going to protect the names of the other 7 for now. To be clear, I might actually release a name every day this week, but I want to show you this because suffice it to say, Rob McCoy was on this text thread, and I think it helps contextualize him as a person, in my view, that he would attack me for telling the truth about the pressure that he was facing. Take a look. So Charlie writes in this group chat, just lost another huge Jewish donor, $2 million a year because we won't cancel Tucker. I'm thinking of inviting Candace. Somebody writes, oh. Charlie writes, Jewish donors play into all of the stereotypes. I cannot and will not be bullied like this, leaving me no choice but to leave the pro-Israel cause. And somebody writes, a donor writes, please do not invite Candace. That might feel good short term, but it's not good long term. In my opinion, like all groups, you're going to get a wide variety of opinions. That nasty free will thing that God bestowed on us makes life frustrating at times after the dust settles a bit, maybe. So again, this is 48 hours before Charlie Kirk was assassinated. He was very clear and he was very explicit, and he did not back down, not in that Hamptons meeting, which they're all lying about, nor in this text thread. I'm not going to reveal the names of the other 7. Actually, you know what? I disagree with myself 4 seconds ago. Let's just throw in Josh Hammer for funsies. He's on this chat. Okay. So what are we to make of that? Okay, now that I'm showing you this and showing to you that the conversations were real, I want you to reflect, and it took me a lot of patience to allow the lies that were being woven and the misrepresentations of people that were pretending that I was just, high on lying about Charlie and the pressure he was under, the attacks that not just me, Tucker Carlson, Megyn Kelly faced for trying to stand up and tell the truth about what Charlie was actually going through. Why are you hearing it, though, from me and Tucker Carlson and Megyn Kelly? Isn't that weird? You got people that are hosting a show. Have they, in like one honorable thing, come out and said, like, you know what? F a couple of these donors who made his life a living hell in the last couple of weeks. Why haven't they done that? It's also a rabbi in that chat. Like, why hasn't anybody made that move to at least say, to vindicate what I have been saying about what he was going through? That registers to me as very suspicious. I'm going to frankly say that it's suspicious to me. It makes me think that in the same way.
This video keeps freezing up on me. It's like I can't even finish this video, bruh. But anyways, I will say this. I'm not saying Israel did it, but I am saying that the way that people are reacting to these types of news, and now we got the full truth that Charlie Kirk was saying that he wanted to leave and leave the Israel cause because it was causing him to be bullied by funders and donors because he couldn't invite the people that he would love to have conversations that also oppose Israel while also defending Israel. Remember, during Turning Point USA, he had everybody hit the stage. He had debates. He also wanted to invite Marjorie Taylor Greene. So you got Marjorie Taylor Greene, you got Matt Gaetz, you got Candace Owens, you got Megyn Kelly, and now you have Tucker Carlson. Some of the biggest voices, 5 biggest voices that have been telling you about the fact that he was facing a lot of pressure. But the fact that they brought that up now has caused another side, the pro-Israel side, to come out and say, well, that's not true. Candace is lying. Candace is crazy. How many times have we heard the opposing view that, oh, you're getting Qatar money? You're getting Qatar. Meanwhile, Qatar just helped Trump literally, get a deal to have some type of peace with Israel. So this Qatar stuff, this Israel stuff, it's literally, that's why I don't talk about it no more, because it's actually crazy. People are, and then there is reports, official reports, that people are getting paid $7,000 to be pro-Israel. We literally had Netanyahu sit up there in front of the world talking about how he wanted to get a coalition of influencers to help better restore Israel's, the state of Israel's, narrative or the media or the legacy, the narrative, everything, right? The narrative. So it is true. You could call Candace Owens crazy, wild, but why are these texts important? Because of how people have been reacting to the fact that anytime you bring up Israel, they freak out, they attack you, and they try to take everything away from you. That's what I don't like. That's one of the main reasons I'm not pro-Israel today. That's why people like Matt Gaetz are very important to me. People like Marjorie Taylor Greene are very important to me. People that see right through this BS and say, wait a minute, what's going on? So I'm not here to insinuate that Israel did anything, but what I'm here to say is, why is it a problem that Candace Owens is talking about this? Why would it be a problem to you? All of a sudden, the people that believe that 9/11 was an inside job are also the people that believe all of a sudden that anything could happen and we just got to believe what they tell us all the time. Like, come on. Come on now. Straighten up, smarten up, and structure up. Just take a look at what they're presenting to you and you make your own decision. Stop letting other people and influencers make your decisions for you. You can be pro-Israel while also saying that, hey, this pro-Israel stuff is very censoring. People are losing their jobs and their livelihoods behind the fact that they don't like the government of Israel. What's going on over there? And a clip that I found here as well was, Tucker Carlson, they called him a liar and they called him crazy for saying this. He said this, and this is exactly what comes out on these text messages. They called him crazy for this. All of a sudden, everybody who once loved Tucker Carlson, it's now turned against him because of the fact that he is noticing a pattern of behavior that he does not like, and he is presenting to you. And now all of a sudden, these guys are crazy. The same people that we once loved are all crazy. And you got to unsubscribe from them, and you have to just stop looking at them and supporting them. All of a sudden, people hate Matt Gaetz. All of a sudden, people hate Marjorie Taylor Greene. All of a sudden, people hate Candace Owens. All of a sudden, people hate Tucker Carlson. Like, are you kidding me? So let's take a listen.
Shortly after that speech, there was a very intense attack on Charlie, and to some extent on me, not that I really noticed. But on him, I have no donors. He had $100 million worth of donors. And so because he was involved in a different project from just yapping on the internet, which is what I do for a living, he was dependent to a great extent on his donors, of course. It's a nonprofit. And they went after him and tormented him. Not all, of course, many were supportive, but the ones who were offended by my speech, and there was a small, very intense group who were, tormented Charlie Kirk until the day he died. 2 days before he died, he lost a $2 million donation because he had publicly pledged to bring me to the next Turning Point conference in December. And he told me over the past couple of months he was losing a lot of donations over that pledge. They put out a flyer basically saying that I was going to be at this event giving a speech. And so he would text me and say, man, I'm really taking a lot of heat for this, and people are really mad.
Yeah, so he was taking a lot of heat for bringing Tucker Carlson on. And he lost a lot of money. And the chain that Candace Owens showed proves that. Don't bring Candace Owens. Don't bring people who oppose Israel, who oppose the Israeli government, who oppose AIPAC. Call me crazy. Unsubscribe. Go stupid. Whatever you want to do. But this is the same type of conversation that we've been having for years. And, I've gotten a lot of people say, look, I was one of the people that said, look, man, I don't like what's going on. First of all, I'm not a Hamas supporter. I'm not an Islamist or not Islamic. I'm a Christian person who believes that Jesus Christ is my Lord and Savior. I believe in Jesus. I believe in the Bible. That does not mean you need to be pro-Israel. That does not mean you need to be a Zionist. That does not mean you need to be blinded by all of this. This just means that you get to have your own stance. This just means that you get to question whatever the heck you want. And this means that you have a moral obligation to do that. But people think honoring Charlie Kirk is to shut up and not say anything. I just think it's pretty crazy. I think that some of the most credible people in the right wing, in the conservative movement, have come out and said they just don't believe it. They are very thrown off. Now, this is not me saying that Israel had anything to do with it, but this is me saying why all of a sudden now we have a congresswoman saying that China did it. They are trying so hard to take control of narratives. It's like a narrative war, narrative fight. But I think it's important to look at all of the sides from the outside and say, wow, This is what I'm going to make up my mind and believe. And this is why I think it's important to believe that. Because I saw the fact that Tucker Carlson last year, I was there, and I saw Tucker Carlson, and I started to see him talk about foreign lobbying. And I know he was talking about Israel. And I knew for a fact that Charlie Kirk, like I was so, because I know Charlie Kirk to be the biggest Zionist. He's a Zionist. Does not like Islam. He is a Zionist. He is as pro, he is as pro-Israel as you could get. Usually with Zionism comes Islam is it gets like that. And then people will label you, if you're not a Zionist, people will label you a Muslim or Muslim supporter or whatever. You know how it gets because you've done it before probably. And if the shoe doesn't fit, do not wear this shoe. Just please listen to what I'm saying to you. But it's a very frustrating topic to talk about with people who are in the boomer class, because they believe that Israel is this chosen people state and that everything they do, we cannot question. And as a 28-year-old, I want to let you know something. Israel is losing control of the narrative very quickly. And they're trying their best to get that narrative to be something solid. And maybe they could. I'm not saying they can't. I'm not opposing Israel to not. They could do whatever they want. But I think that these are some of the actions that cause people to have the stance that I have. It's like, wait a minute. What's going on, man? Like, why are you guys so aggressive? Why is this proof that you were aggressive toward Charlie Kirk because he had an opposing view? Like, what are we doing here? And Charlie Kirk said something that was so important to me. Something that was so important. Israel is playing into all these stereotypes. He loved Israel so much that he literally said, "Damn, why are you playing?" He was so frustrated that they kept playing into the stereotypes that people have, these conspiracies that Israel controls everything. Like, you guys are playing into that stereotype by trying to bully me into not bringing other voices. So that's the problem. That's my biggest problem with why I think a lot of people in the right wing today, it's like, yeah, Islam is not compatible with the bus. These are different debates. Stop conflating the two. Because at the end of the day, Israel is still a foreign government and people still look at it that way. Stop trying to shove it down people's throats. It's not going to work. And the more you do it, the more you come out. And the more I see you talk about Israel, Israel, Israel all day. I have not made a video about being anti-Israel or being Israel. But the moment you start to talk about this topic, even one time, people say that you are paid by Qatar. People say that. But I thought that the report showed that the people who constantly make videos defending the narrative of Israel are getting paid $7,000 per post. Why shouldn't we believe that? I've seen some of the best content creators that I've been watching for a long time who are Christian be freaking sold, like they just go all out against people who, again, are not pro-Israel. They're not anti-Jew. They just don't like the state of Israel. They have not loved what they have done since October 7th. They have looked at the videos. They have looked at the footage. They have said, oh my goodness, what are these people doing over there? What is going on? It literally just came out today that Trump literally telling Netanyahu, take the freaking victory. Days after the Hamas deal, Trump literally says to Netanyahu, brother, take the deal. Why are you always so effing negative? He cursed at him. He's, why are you always so effing negative? And now all of a sudden there's videos of legitimately, I'm going to show you this one, then I'm just going to get up out of here because I thought this was a very important video to show you guys. I really do. Take a listen to this.
Iran is developing now ballistic missiles that are intercontinental ballistic missiles for 8,000 kilometer range. What does that mean? They add another 3,000 kilometers and they've got under their atomic guns, in New York City in target, Washington, Boston, Miami, Mar-a-Lago. Okay, so that is a very great danger. You don't want to be under the nuclear gun of these people who are not necessarily rational and who chant death to America. Iran is developing.
Again, this is after the Hamas deal. These are after all the deals, after all these announcements. He got on camera again, speaking to Ben Shapiro, speaking to everybody else about how if Iran gets this and Iran gets that, that we are done. You know, Mar-a-Lago in New York City will be blown up. Again, this is this. If you're an American citizen and you're constantly watching Netanyahu, you're saying, man, throughout his history, I have seen this guy say the same thing over and over. And wasn't Israel that gave us the, you know, the intelligence, messed up intelligence in 2002, 2003 to invade Iraq, saying that there were weapons of mass destruction when there really wasn't any? It was him that was saying it. So if you want to know why young people are looking at this and saying, wait a minute, please understand why. Do yourself a favor and understand why I have the stances I have, even as a conservative Christian. Even as a Christian who is, I believe in Jesus Christ. I don't believe in any other religion. I don't believe in Sharia law. But this is the stance I have. That is my thoughts and opinions on this. If you watch this video all the way through, thank you. I appreciate you. If you're unsubscribed, do whatever you want at this point. I'm not going to beg you to stay on this channel because I have a difference in opinion. I've done that before. I'm not doing that again.